Stop dating if you don't love yourself. I'm not even lying about this. I've seen it so much around the people that I love the most, that they get into relationships thinking that they're ready, thinking that they have it, but they have nothing figured out about themselves. It's like walking around looking for an artist when you're a blank whiteboard. Like, you don't know anything about yourself. It's insane. It's insane. Why do I say it? Why do I say that you gotta love yourself first? Why is that the criteria? What does that even mean? Like, what is that really what you like? Nah, that could just be an option. No, because if you actually want a full-on relationship, if you want something that's meaningful, how can you love another person if you don't even love yourself? Where's the foundation? Because everything you do, your entire reality, is through your lens, right? Through your mind. So if you lack love through yourself, then your perception is a lack of love on the other person. Like, how can you see love in another person if you don't have it through yourself? And it's like, it should kind of be practical, right? It's like the easiest thing to do is love yourself because you know yourself the most out of anyone in this planet. Okay, maybe it's not the easiest, but it's the best opportunity. But I see it too often where you think you love yourself, you say it, you claim it, I do love myself. But then you show insecurities. Then you show manipulation. Then you show gaslighting. What is that? I find it to be a vessel, a medium of unexplained tendencies that you have of yourself. And that's through not knowing yourself. And how can you love yourself if you don't know yourself? Like, for me, I've identified a lot of insecurities in the last year. Insecurities that I thought I didn't have, insecurities I didn't even know existed. And I was done through being in a relationship, but also just being on my own. But I had to accept it. I had to adapt to it. It's stupid to just identify these insecurities and then try to shove them aside, thinking that, okay, if I don't address them, they might pop out every now and then. But like, those things exist with you unless they're addressed. And it's not even about like coming through with it and then finally overcoming it and then it's gone now. It's more like living with it. Like, you understand it, you have addressed it, you can see it. This is my insecurity. I know that this is gonna happen when these things happen, but it's normal. And I have found ways to address it in the moment to where they don't actually control or dictate my actions. That's sort of like making the idea easy to understand. It's a lot harder to do, of course, but like, regardless, I find it that this generation, and maybe previous generations, every generation, they don't actually know what the problem is. And I think that's important to know. And I think by having a partner, that's actually a good way of showing what you don't know. During the relationship, being outside of the relationship, like, all those are times to work on it, right? Because it's always you in your life, always you. Other people are temporary. Everybody's temporary except you. Oh, I mean, you are temporary too, but like you are temporary, but you're always with yourself, I guess, always. So you're not always with everyone else, ever. So how have I addressed my insecurities? I think that's a good question to address, because how can I just tell you, all right, stop having insecurities, bye. So one is you have to address it. I mean, first move aside your ego. That's what's stopping you probably for the most part. By having an ego, you feel hurt, and then you feel offended, and you feel this heated feeling like, this isn't me. Let me push that aside, right? And that's kind of where it makes it easy. Your ego makes it easy for you not to change. So set aside the ego. That's one. Look at his family. Crazy, right? This is gonna be crazy advice. Working on it. Do research about it. You're realistically not the first person to have this sort of insecurity. So if you find out like what it is, see where it derives from. I think that's a good direction to go for. Just research it. And if you start piecing things together, maybe you've identified it. Maybe you're like, okay, this is exactly what it is. And there's usually advice on how to deal with it or how to work with it and things like that. But let's say let's say you have a very unique insecurity, an insecurity that no one's ever dealt with before. Then I think the next best option is to see what works for yourself. You've already identified it, so anytime that you find your actions to come out because of the insecurity, then sort of jot that down mentally or actually write it down, and identify what actions can you take to minimize it or to work around it or do anything that you can in your power to basically not allow it to take over and control your actions and therefore ruin relationships further down the line or your current relationship. Address it, research it, and work on it. I think a lot easier said than done, of course. And there's going to be moments, I believe, in your life that's going to test you with it. You're going to have, I mean, it's initially the first test, right, where you have the insecurity, but there's going to be hopefully people that call you out, or even better, you call yourself out. And then you have the opportunity later in life to readdress it and see if you've worked on it actually, or if you thought you did, in reality, you actually haven't. But regardless, I think that's what life is, right? It's the up and downs of forever continuing working on it. But ultimately, getting to my point, which is having this, try not to get into a relationship. At least work on as much as you can to therefore love someone with the utmost possibility of love that you can give. That was a horrible sentence to output, but like I hope you get the message. Dig deep into yourself. Have that assurance in yourself. Have that faith in yourself. Be secure with themselves to therefore be secure in a relationship and further down, and potentially help other people too. Don't be someone's savior though. Don't be someone's savior though. That's not good. You can't fix them. I promise you can't, and it's not your job to. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. See you.